Well, it looks like Jibri is having doubts. Hey my beautiful peeps, if you're new here, my name is Char and welcome to Char TV. For my existing subscribers, I appreciate you coming on back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a recap on my usual couples for 90 Day Fiance episode 9. It's called Poison in the Honey. Before I get into the recap, I have a quick shout out. It goes to Amy H. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and welcome to the family. Now let's get on with the recap. I'm starting with Kobe and Emily. Things have been really rocky between Kobe and Emily since he arrived a month ago. Emily's mother will be watching Kobe, so she decided to set up a horseback riding date at her neighbor's house for her and Kobe. Kobe has never been on a horse before, nor has he touched one, but he's just happy to have the opportunity to have some alone time with Emily.
Oh, here, you want to, okay. Stick it in and then throw your leg over. Yep. There you go. See, like a pro.
I'm a pro, bitch.
Check you out, honey. Your first time.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing. Yeah,
Peace.
what you said.
Peace, baby. Wow.
Wave to the camera.
The date is over and Emily's gonna have a chat with her parents. Despite things being a little bumpy between her and Kobe, she's still excited to get married to him. They have discussed the details of the wedding, but they're concerned with the financial aspect. So because of this, Emily's gonna ask her parents to help out with the wedding. She feels like it hurts Kobe's pride a little bit for her to ask her parents for help. Her dad asks what's going on, and she tells him about the wedding and that she's concerned about the finances.
So, like, would you guys help with that?
Currently, Lisa and I are paying for just about everything for Emily. So it's not surprising that Emily would ask us to pay for the wedding. But right now, we don't know him that well. So he's got to prove to me that he can provide for his family.
David still feels that Emily shouldn't be getting married for the sake of getting married. She doesn't understand where he's getting this idea from and explains to him that they only have 90 days. Emily's mother said that she does have a choice. She likes Kobe and he's a nice guy, but she's only known him for 30 days. She then goes on to say that their relationship is their business, but the other day she did hear a worrisome conversation. David was like, well, what you mean? And the mother filled him in on the whole manure incident where Kobe told Emily to shut the F up.
Emily?
I mean, it's a little,
That's inappropriate. That's total disrespect. I mean, oh man.
People argue, so I'm not really that
People argue, but
You cannot let him speak to you that way.
it was handled. It doesn't need to be brought up again. It's fine, and it was handled.
David said that if she's dead set on getting married, okay, fine, he will help. But he's a little bit concerned that in a couple of months from now, is she gonna be asking money for other things? Sooner or later, she's gonna have to deal with things on her own. She's gonna have to put on her big girl pants. Emily said, well, when Kobe gets his green card, he'll be able to work. The mother cut her off right away and said, well, what kind of work does he plan on doing? To which Emily said she does not know. David feels, well, they need to focus on that because it's just crazy. Emily has not a clue on how to get from point A to point B. The mother said that she doesn't understand how to live in the real world. She doesn't know about paying for a house, bills, food, or a child because she's never done it before. Well, I mean, whose fault is that? Y'all sheltered her instead of having her take care of responsibilities. And you know what? This all reminds me of Ari. How do you feel about this? Tonight, Emily and her mother are taking Kobe to her grandma's house. So it's just gonna be David and Kobe alone in the house. And Kobe's a little nervous because David wants to have a conversation with him.
I'm just getting to know you, and so far, we've kept it pretty light. I do have some serious concerns. Ever since Kobe got here, there's been some confrontations with Emily. It seems like some of them got a little heated, and that's a little disturbing. I'll give them the benefit of a doubt, but thinking about in the future, gotta have a plan on what the hell they're gonna be doing. I mean, otherwise, they're gonna be floating around in this la-la, fantasy world. I'm not paying for it, period.
He then went on to say that he's supporting the household and he doesn't charge them rent or anything. But in order for things to happen, there needs to be a clear vision, career goals, and how much money Kobe intends on making. And then he asked him what his plans are. Poor Kobe looked stressed. Kobe mentioned that Emily said that maybe he can go back to modeling, but he doesn't think it's possible in Salina, because remember, Salina's not a very big place. And then she also mentioned that her dad is an architect, and Kobe thinks that this is great because he's done things in the past in civil engineering. I feel like he just fluffed that answer a little bit. He figures that since David has his own company, that he can train him and take over the company one day to keep the family name going.
Okay, you mentioned civil engineering, and I'm not sure exactly in Cameroon. Did you get a license there? Did you get a degree?
I had like high school.
Okay, but did you have any training after that?
No, I didn't have any.
Well, he's crazy if he thinks he's going to come in and take over my business, but that's not going to happen. It's just like he's out of his mind.
David explained to Kobe to be an architect, the program is about 4 to 5 years. And then once that's complete, you still have another 2 or 4 years of training before you get your license. So he's got to figure out a way to pay for it. Kobe said that he doesn't have any issues with going back to school. Now, he didn't disclose to Emily how much money he brought with him to America, but it's at least $4,000. Well, my guy, you're gonna need a lot more than $4,000 because that amount of money is not gonna get you very far. David explained to Kobe that that's not a lot of money here in America, but in other places, perhaps it's considered a lot.
With $4,000 back home in Cameroon, you can rent an apartment on your own. That can take you for like almost a year and feed your family. And I was thinking that this money can fulfill the promises that I made to Emily, but now I don't know.
Let's have a plan. Maybe you'll be out of here before the 90-day, deadline. Let's hope so.
David said that Kobe and Emily are gonna have to talk about finances. It ain't a party over here. You gotta work. And that is everything between Kobe and Emily. On to Jibri and Miona. Things are getting really heated between Jibri and David. They're scuffling, and Jibri is screaming at the top of his lungs like a banshee. He's telling David to stop and that they don't need to talk about this here. They're there to record.
Why are you talking about this right now? I'm trying to have you bro.
Alright, come
How we gonna do music? Can't even focus in the studio talking about Miona. See how he gets mad? Because of Miona. Everything Miona.
Just take a breath. Okay. Alright. Okay. Davi, what's up?
David feels that Miona is trying to have Jibri all to herself, and she's not allowing him to be who he wants to be. He feels that she's slowing him down and they can't even record properly. Jibri has stopped huffing and puffing, and he's left the washroom to go back into the recording space. David is still talking a little bit of smack, and Jibri said if you don't stop talking about Miona, you need to leave.
I'm trying to resolve this. Go, I'm gonna smack out you.
No,
Bro,
we're not doing that.
Go.
We're not doing that.
Go.
We're not doing that.
For real.
But we're not doing that.
I understand.
Because we
doing this. So
I get
focus.
that, but we can't do it without
All right,
him.
cool. So stop. Enough about Miona. That's it.
Bro, you better chill.
Enough about Miona.
You out here causing a scene in front of a producer.
Then put it on the mic.
I'm trying to put it on the mic, but I'm trying to make sure your mind's right here.
David said to Jibri that he needs to get his mind right and that Miona is distracting him from the goal. Jibri clapped back and said, well, you're distracting me by talking about her. Now let's just get on the mic. Brandy, who seems to be the voice of reason, well, she chimed in and said that she doesn't appreciate this kind of energy, especially that they just got back together. It's not what they're all about. And I agree with her. I mean, how embarrassing is that they're fighting like this in front of the producer? Like, imagine what's going through his mind. Like, seriously. Jibri is now feeling good that they're back to recording, even though there's been a lot of conflict. When Black Serb is in sync, it's magical. They head back to the room where the producer is so that they can listen to the music, and they're loving it. Jibri apologizes for losing his cool and explains that he has a lot going on between him and Miona and he doesn't know how to deal with it. David said, yeah, that he can see that because his energy is all over the place. Jibri said that he doesn't know how he's going to be able to give his full effort.
I miss y'all, man. And I want to I really want to make a real apology because I put a lot of effort into my relationship with Miona. I feel like I did give up the band for her. I don't know how I do both, bro. I really don't know how I do both. Being invested in a relationship and taking this next step is definitely scary for me as somebody who's a creative nomad. I'm scared of the things that I won't do.
He's definitely finding it challenging to find a balance so that he doesn't lose focus on working on his dream of music. While in Chicago, Miona has decided to go wedding dress shopping because she figures that there'll be more choices there than in Rapid City. And she's probably right. She wishes that she could have her mother and sister with her, but Brandy from Black Serbs will be joining her. She's now a good friend of hers.
Is this what you pictured with the corset?
Yeah, definitely.
So where do you and your fiance live?
I came to Rapid City first, but it's definitely not where I see us.
So how's it been, like in Rapid City, like living there with him in the house?
I think we are too old to be living with the parents anymore. I'm trying to do everything they ask me. I'm trying to be the best that I can.
Yeah.
It can be difficult in some moments, definitely.
Miona said that Jibri is trying to mediate between them so that he can be on both sides. But she wants him to be on her side even when it comes to his mother. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Then she asked Brandy, well, how was he with David? Did he defend her or not? Brandy explained that they got into a fight, but he definitely stuck up for her and he didn't want her name being brought up. Miona said that he always has to stick up for her. Jibri and David are going to his favorite Serbian restaurant in Chicago, while Miona will be hanging out with his cousin and Brandy. He's still feeling frustrated and angry about what happened at the studio. In David's culture, when you get into a fight, you talk about things and have a drink of rakia. David said that they can't be fighting because they're not teens anymore.
Like, I care about you. I'm not against y'all. I'm for y'all. I want y'all to succeed.
It doesn't feel like that.
I know it doesn't, because honesty is straight up. I'm just being truthful. My mistrust was there, and I'm honest about it. And you should respect that. I'm worried about you. So what does Miona bring to the relationship for you guys? What does she bring to you?
Jibri explained that music really isn't Miona's thing, and she doesn't understand that he gets creative at night. So he's up sometimes at 4 a.m. and he's feeling frustrated because she doesn't understand. David gets a sense that she controls the relationship and her needs are priority. He feels that Jibri is willing to give up himself for her and that he will burn out and invest a lot of time, money, and energy in something that may not even work out, and he does not want to see that happen. Jibri asked David, what does he think he should do? Would he get married himself? David said no, and that he'd take the time to get to know his partner better because people can change, so he'd take his time.
David knows that I'm a person that is very impulsive, so a lot of the times I don't quite think about the whole scenario. I feel like I could potentially be making a mistake and putting Miona first before I put my career first, and I'm feeling a lot of doubt about marrying Miona.
Make the right decision and just look at you first. What you give, what she gives, and we'll all support you.
Well, it looks like Jibri is having doubts. Do you feel that him and Miona should be getting married or not? Now, some of us already know. And that is everything between Jibri and Miona. On to Eve and Mohamed. Since Mohamed's arrival, Eve has been super stressed because there's all these rules and she's not used to that because she's very independent. Things are very different there, and she's not Muslim, and Mohamed doesn't live in a Muslim country anymore. Mohamed is a little bit annoyed because Eve had told him that she wasn't going to be out for long, but she got home late. And by the time she got home, he was sleeping. She explained that her life is super busy, and the night before she had a chance to hang out with her friend for a little bit, and they're worried about her. Mohamed doesn't understand why they say the things that they do because it doesn't make sense to him.
So in Arabic we say ما تحطش السم في العسل. That means don't spill the poison in the honey. So I feel that happening when Eve go out with her friends and they started to. That's why she acting like she doesn't know me.
I think it's just there's a lot of differences that everybody's just not used to dealing with.
Eve said that she's trying to learn about his religion, but she has no plans on converting. Mohamed said to her that she shouldn't associate his religion with who she is, and that she's scared because it doesn't make sense. He feels that her friends are judging him, and he asked her why she feels like she's going to lose herself with him. She explained to him that his religion is too confining, and she's a free spirit and doesn't want to change for anyone. Now, Mohamed doesn't expect her to convert, but he did expect her to respect his culture because she did decide to be with him.
That doesn't make any sense to me because you know who I am since 2 years before I even come here. Now, if I did hide anything from you, let me know, because I was very clear with you about everything.
Well, so am I. I want you to accept who I am. Do you accept that I'm an American woman, that I'm not Islamic, and I'm not Muslim?
He's convinced that when she hangs out with her friends that they make her feel this way. Eve said that's rude and disrespectful of him to say because it's not true. She's hoping that they can find a way to incorporate both of their lives. And Mohamed ain't changing, so he doesn't know if she's gonna listen to him or her friends. And if she doesn't accept who he is, then he ain't gonna be here after the 90 days. And that is everything between Eve and Mohamed. And that, my beautiful peeps, concludes my recap. As for Kobe and Emily, they definitely need to sit down and talk about things because I feel like they're both living a little bit in a la-la land. They're gonna have to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet, and it's not gonna be easy. And I don't know if they're quite ready for marriage just yet, or at all. As for Jibri and Miona, hey, Jibri doesn't like to hear the truth sometimes, and David is just telling him how it is. Sometimes it's a little bit hard for us to hear the truth from others. But I do agree with some of the things that David was saying. And Miona's gonna have to learn how to be a little bit more patient and to put Jibri's needs first sometimes. It can't all be just about her needs. It's gotta be a compromise. It's gotta be both. As for Eve and Mohamed, well, you already know what I'm gonna say. Go home. It's time for him to leave. I don't see them meshing very well. I really, really don't. And again, these are conversations that should have been had before he moved there. I just don't understand some of these people. But let me know your thoughts on the episode. Meh. It wasn't too exciting at all. So drop your comments below. I definitely like to see them, and hopefully pin one of them. If you enjoyed my recap, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that red button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching, my beautiful peeps, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.